Hello everybody, this is Little Ninja and welcome back to another episode of Ninja's Empire. In the last episode we built that ginormous wall that you can just see going around the entire perimeter of our base area. And we also built a transport system for the potato farm, which you can't see. And we didn't quite manage to finish the wall because I ran out of stone and I didn't have enough time to go mining for more. But in between episodes I've been doing a little bit of work. Well, a whole bunch actually, mining mostly, and mining out the slime chunk we found in the last episode. More on that later. But I finished the wall up to the height, and then I started putting the stairs on like that, and I don't really like the way it looked, or the way it looks with the spruce pillars coming up and just sort of stopping. And so over here I ran them on up to the full height of the wall, and I think that looks a lot better. And then on the outside, you have the upside down stairs, just like this, and then the fence on top. And I think it looks pretty good. It has a nice finished touch, and spiders can't get over that as well, which is a nice bonus. So I've got to go ahead and put the stairs the rest of the way around this wall. They're just down to that corner. I have from there all the way around to just over there to do, and then put the fence posts in and raise the pillars up a little bit. And then this wall will be done, and we can move on to the next thing. And it's finally finished the whole way around. And that project took a lot longer than it was originally going to. I mean, originally I was just going to have like a 3-high wall, and then we had troubles with the top, so I made it a lot higher, and it took a ton of stone. I think it was nearly 2 double chests full of smooth stone on this wall, and like 6 stacks of fence posts. And so yeah, it's a huge wall, but now we can keep mobs out, but they can still spawn inside here. So what I'm going to do is run around with my F3 screen and just sort of torch spam everywhere and make sure that there's nowhere inside this entire compound where mobs can spawn. And then we will be safe to work, through the night and no interruptions. Well, I have been working for quite some time now, and I just got this area here done up to the front of that building, straight across the compound. And it takes quite a bit of time when you're neatly organizing your torches, to make sure that everything is all lined up. And I've been putting them with 5 blocks in between them. So now I just want to take a break because this doesn't have to all be done all at once. I can come back and work on it a little bit here and there once in a while. It's not like one of those things that just needs to be finished because you won't really notice it. I want to go ahead and get started on the slime chunk. And the stone brick that I mined for this wall, a lot of it came out of that slime chunk, so it's already partially started, but it still has quite a bit of work to do. And here's the thing. When I found the slime chunk, I went and put it in Mine Atlas, and it turns out that there were actually two slime chunks, and they were side by side. And so, as you can see, I've been mining quite a bit of stone out of here, and as I go, I've been replacing all the walls with smooth stone, so there's no granite or diorite or andesite anywhere to be found. And then these slabs here, or the floor levels, I will replace with half slabs because that will give the big slime. The big slimes have a hard time moving in here because it's only 3 blocks high, and so they can only jump a little bit at a time. And if I replace that with half slabs, it will give them more space to move, and they can get off and go over the edge faster. And so now I've got this platform, then the second one, and let's not die, the third one completely done. And I've measured out the others, and there are still 5 platforms to dig out, along with the ditch. And I mean, this is a huge area. This takes a lot of digging, and I do have an efficiency 5, which helps a lot, but the chunks are 16 by 16, obviously, and then so this platform here is 32 by 16, and then all around the edge there's a 3-wide gap that goes straight down to bedrock. Well, not quite to bedrock. I think it's like 1 layer above bedrock, but yeah. So I've got a ton of digging to do, and I probably won't update you. I'll just go ahead and do it all in one go because, I mean, it's just like, okay, I've done another platform. Okay, I've done another platform. It's not that interesting. So I'm working on the 5th platform, I think it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. And I just went off to repair my pickaxe, and when I came back, I realized that I had forgot to light up the platform that I was working on, and I made a very nice mob spawner down here So this could be a trick. Yeah, I'm gonna have to be a little careful and clear this thing out. Why is there a creeper right next to my ladder? See, that's just not. Oh, that's right. Go ahead, push him off the edge. Push him. Okay, well, I need to clear this up, and then I'll keep digging. And I only have, I think, what is it? 1, 2, 3 more platforms to go, which is not too far. Hopefully, we'll be done soon. And the final floor is basically done. That was a lot of mining, like a seriously a lot of mining. But on this bottom floor, I decided to leave all the ore that I found just like it is, and it looks kind of cool. I'm gonna have to build a room just so I can decorate it like that. But anyway, these guys have just been constantly falling on my head and bombarding me the whole time I'm working down here. But now I have to dig out the ditch that goes around, and so it goes 2 blocks down like this, and then the water flows in this way, and then the cactus starts here, and then so the cactus would stagger. It would be like 1 and then 1 there and then 1 here and then 1 back there, and then behind those cacti I have to dig out another block because obviously cacti can't grow next to a block. So I've got to dig out 6 blocks wide and 2 blocks down all the way around the edge of this platform yet. But yeah, it shouldn't take much longer, and then I'll clear out this ore, of course, and then I need to replace all these platforms with half slabs to give the big slimes more room to jump in here. Well, I have been half slabbing like mad for about the past hour and a half to 2 hours, and it's finally done. And I repaired my pickaxe 3 times, and I went through 2 brand new iron swords doing this because there was just forever slime spawning and falling down on my head. And yeah, so now the original plan that I had was to put water here, and then the water would push the slime that fell off the edges into cacti that would be staggered like this, and then there would be a string of hoppers going the whole way around the farm, and the slime would get picked up in those and then transported up to the top in an item elevator. And then I was just thinking, you know, as I finished up here, that is a lot of hoppers. Like, that is a serious amount of hoppers. And that's going to make quite a bit of lag, not to mention they're kind of expensive. Like, they would take a lot of wood, which, I mean, we have plenty of, but still it's expensive. And then I thought, why on earth wouldn't I just use magma cubes and hopper minecarts? And I think I'm going to do that. So all this digging around the edges here where the cacti were going to go was pointless. But I'm just going to bring this wall straight down and remove everything down to this layer, and then I'm going to, well, actually down to the layer below it, and then I have to run minecart rails around here and then put magma blocks on top. And if you didn't know this, when a hopper minecart goes through a 1 block gap, so say like this, if there was a hopper minecart sitting there, they're actually taller than a block, and so they would stick up into this block a little bit, which would mean that they pick up items on the top. So if you have them just running around the farm continuously picking up items and then taking them off to a removal, or not a removal, like a drop off area, then you can, yeah, I mean, it's pretty efficient, and it would make a lot less lag than the hoppers would. So I did some math and I figured out I'm going to need 324 magma blocks, which we have quite a few and they're really easy to harvest, and 300 about the same amount of powered rails. And so for each powered rail you make, it takes 1 piece of gold. And where's the best place to get gold? Why, obviously the mesa. That's where gold spawns the most of underground. So I'm going to go off into the mesa and make a sort of a branch mine there and mine for gold. And yeah, so the mesa is about 3,000 blocks away, and I'm going to use the nether again. So you guys know the drill. It's just a simple boring nether tunnel going about 300 blocks off in that direction and then that direction, or that direction, I don't remember anyway. But at any rate, we can use the tunnel that goes over to the Blaze farm for part of it. So that'll take down the time a lot, and it shouldn't take long at all to get over there. Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived in a cave. Deja vu, anyone? But looking around, there's gold all over the place. So this should not take long at all to collect 300 gold. So yeah, I'm just going to do a whole bunch of caving and maybe a little bit of branch mining if I need to, and collect all this gold, and then take it back and smelt it up and start making some powered rails. And we are finally back from the mesa. That place is deadly. This sword that I have was almost new when we left. So we got quite a bit of gold. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stacks and 39. And a bunch of iron too. And I know we have an iron farm, but I'm one of those people who just can't resist. Anyway, and 4 diamonds, which is cool. So I've got to smelt this stuff up now, and yeah, I'm just gonna sit here and wait for it, and then we can start making powered rails. Oh, actually, meantime, while it's smelting, we can go to the Nether and collect all the magma cube, or not cube. I keep saying that, magma block that we're gonna need. So, I mean, that won't take long. I just need to empty my inventory and then get a less expensive pickaxe. Stupid man. Everyone knows when you go to the Nether, the overworld unloads. And so, of course, the gold didn't smelt. But I think I went a little overboard collecting magma block. I don't know. But I guess we'll have plenty for a future project. And I found this pickaxe in one of the villagers, Unbreaking 2, Efficiency 2 for like maybe 20 emeralds. I'm not even sure. But yeah, so like that's a great Nether pickaxe, and it's cheap. So now I'm just gonna stand here and wait for this gold to finish smelting. And yes, I know I put the stuff in these chests and I moved it afterwards. So I made the mistake of putting iron and gold in at the same time, and so now I think it's smelting all the iron first. So I'm just gonna go AFK a little bit and come back when all my rails are ready to make. So I didn't AFK. I came down here and prepared this area for the rails, and then I had a bit of revelation. I was laying the rails down and trying to figure out how I was going to get the rails to go across every square and run on these 2 rails, because obviously the odd number makes it a bit tricky. And then I had a thought, we're using magma blocks here. Why in the world don't we put water on top and have the water, so the magma block would kill the slime, and then the water would push the slime balls to the outside edge, and then we can just have a single track running around the very outside of this, and it'll pick up all the slime balls, and it'll mean a lot less time on the track for the minecart, and tons less rails, like only a third of the rails we were going to use. So all that prep work, and then it's a simple solution in the end. So I'm going to go ahead and just lay down that track and put the magma block down in the water and everything and get the whole thing ready, and then we'll have to build an offloading system out here. And here's where the items are going to get transported to the surface. It's right up against the exterior wall, which runs like here somewhere, and then we can build a little shack sort of up against the wall for our storage. But yeah, I'll go ahead and do all of this and get the entire farm ready to start automatically harvesting. Well, that was a derptastic plan, because in theory it would have worked, but what I didn't realize was that magma cube will actually evaporate water, like in the Nether. And so, if our source blocks evaporate, why, that'll be a real problem. And so yeah, I'm going to have to take up all this magma cube. I keep saying that. It's a magma block, not a magma cube. And put down the minecart rails going along the three tracks, I guess. So yeah, a little bit more work. I'm not too fussed about it though, because that was the original plan all along. This was sort of a cheaty escape, and it didn't end up working, which is fine. And as soon as I said that, I realized that there is an alternative. If we break these blocks right here and put our water source blocks back there, the source blocks will never evaporate, and it can fizz and hiss all at once, and it'll be fine. So this plan will work after all. I just have to go around and remove a ring of blocks around the outside, and then put the source blocks back in there, which shouldn't be too hard. So the water's all in place, and it works just fine. And that's the inside of the farm completely done. And now I change this rail up a little bit so that it enters and exits on the same rail here, and it just leaves this way and then comes back this way and comes onto here, and then goes and sits on this hopper. And now I have to figure out some sort of redstone contraption to keep this rail unpowered whenever the minecart has stuff in it, and then as soon as the minecart empties, it would just power for a little bit and send it off, and then yeah, and so I'll have to hop into a testing world and figure out how to build that, because I've never done that before. And this is where the elevator will go up, and I'm clearing it out. I'm going to build it with a different kind of block so that if we're ever mining here in the future, we won't accidentally break our elevator and start losing slime balls. And man, these critters are loud. So yeah, I just need to hop into a testing world and figure out how to build this, and then we can build our elevator. So that was much easier than I thought it was going to be, and I'm going to try to build it here on camera. And I don't normally do that because I'm not very good at building and talking at the same time. But yeah, this is really like super simple. And now that should power. No, that should not power. That should remain unpowered. No, that's right. It should power if this hopper is empty. Yeah, okay. So, and then so as long as there's items going through this hopper, that will unpower this, and as soon as the hopper is empty, the rail will power and the minecart will go off. And I have a hopper minecart here, so we can just test it. And then I moved the elevator. I was gonna have it here originally, right? But that would mean that there was a air block right here, and that's in the elevator space. And I wasn't sure, it may not have caused a problem, but I didn't really want to risk it. So I'm just gonna move it to back here, and that should be fine. That way we can seal it in all the way around. And so yeah, now. Yep, see the minecart, the hopper stopped, and we're getting slime balls. Awesome. How many are there? Okay, and there it goes again. Sweet, so this works. Now we just have to dig up a 3x3 hole here and not over there, and then fill it in with something that we know not to mine, which shouldn't be too hard. The one thing I forgot, before we do the elevator, we have to hook up the redstone clock down here, so that every time there are items in here, it clicks and spits them out the top. And so this works. I had to do a little bit of funny redstone here. Normally I run this over the top of the block here, but this is going to be a solid block, so I had to run it down underneath and power the block underneath the dropper. So yeah, now to do the shaft. Well, I didn't remember when I decided to move the elevator that it calculated kind of close for this wall, and it literally comes up so close to the wall that these two blocks are actually going to be part of the elevator. But I mean, what block better to use for a job that no one's ever going to see than a block that no one ever wants to see, or at least I don't. And man, I can't stand this color. And as you can see, it's already working. We are getting tons of slime balls. These were in my inventory before. These were what came up just now. And so yeah, we're going to build this up a little taller, and then at the top it's going to have an area like this with a water stream here that goes over into a hopper, and then there will be a wall of chests here, and we'll make sort of like a little bazaar or market stand type of deal for the storage. We're not going to move this over to there because, I mean, yeah, that place is already getting assigned, like almost all the chests are assigned to a specific item, and so we'll have the slime have its own little storage hut, and that'll give us more reason to move around the area rather than just always being stuck sitting over in there in that building. So yeah, I'm going to have to build up this elevator, put the hoppers in place in the chests, and then come up with a design for the building that goes on the outside of this. So the way I decided to do this was to integrate it into the wall, kind of. And so I just brought the wall out like this, and yeah, it made it look like the rest of the wall. And then the bazaar will go here, and so the first hopper goes here, and then it goes across, and then there's hoppers coming down here, and here and here, so there'll be a set of 9 chests, and then we can build the bazaar in a similar design to that right there, except just have sort of like a sloping lean-to roof or something. It's just something that looks small and unimpressive, much like this. And it looks really unimpressive and homely right now, but it works. And eventually what I want to do is maybe have like an entire wall of these, and just, you know, varying slightly but not too much, and have sort of like a market area along this wall between that building and this one. But yeah, so I collected all the slime that we collected since we started this project and put them in this chest, and it's almost half a chest, and they're still coming in. So that is awesome. That's way more slime probably than I will ever use. And I was just thinking, you know, it would be really cool if you could throw slime like snowballs, and if a mob got hit, it would have like a slowness effect on it until it jumped into water or something. But Anyway, yeah, a little bit like Paintball Wars or something. So now I just need to clean up down there. There's a whole bunch of chests down there. I'll bring them all up and put the items in their respective places, and then that will be this project entirely done. Cleaning up those chests, there were 6 double chests full of stuff down there that I took over to the storage system and sorted. It kind of put me in maintenance mode, and I cleared all that out, sealed it up, and there's still a maintenance entrance in the mine shaft over there. And I also did a bunch of other stuff. I lit up this area. As you can see, all the torches are in a nice grid, and I chopped down a whole bunch of trees that were around here that were originally planted for wood farming, and we'll build some nicer ones eventually in strategic places. There were just a whole ton of like dark oak wood, trees here, and so yeah, we still have to light up the corner over by the potato farm. Over that corner there isn't lit up yet, and the roofs, and there are mobs spawning on this roof and that roof up there, and from there they'll drop down sometimes, and yeah, we don't want any mobs spawning inside this wall, so we're gonna have to figure out a way to light those up. But that is all going to have to wait for later, because I am all out of time for today. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.